Hello everyone, my name is Tristan Luna and I am the founder of Source Ship Sell LLC and I have failed many times.
Ooh, many times.
Yeah.
Many times today or in general?
In general.
Well, welcome to the Failed Podcast. I'm here with a good friend of mine, and he's not just a friend of mine, he is Bill. What is Bill?
Brother-in-law.
That's right. He is the Bill himself, my brother-in-law, and we are excited to have him in this podcast today. Today I'm wearing Jordan 4s. So he walked in, I was going to wear Kobe's, but he walked in with J's. So I'm like, yeah, I got to wear J's too. I'm wearing Jordan 4s, and Tristan here is wearing Jordan 6s.
2015 retro.
I actually really want those. Shout out to Jack Boumaton, faithful listener of the podcast, for cleaning our shoes. Actually, both of these were fixed by him.
Yeah, he restored this. Yeah.
And
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So it's funny because he's one of our students, obviously, and he's into side hustle and side business also. And obviously it's not about him, but just a little shout out.
No, it's never about him.
He comes to me
just kidding.
during school hour and he says, "Hey, brother Tristan." Well, it's a Christian school, and I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He showed me, "Hey, this guy. He's selling 2 pairs of Jordans, and they're beaten up, but I could restore it." And I was like, "How much for both?" I think it was like $100 for both. Mm-hmm. So I had him clean it up. I told him keep the other one. You could resell the other one, and then I kept this. Somebody actually offered me for like $120 for this, but I'm just like, no, I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Shout out to the small businesses. Shout out to Jack Boumaton for sneaker cleaning. If you need any help cleaning sneakers.
Definitely.
But it's never about you, Jack. I'm just kidding. This podcast is brought to you by Amazon. And Amazon is sponsoring this podcast. Somehow, some way, Amazon is sponsoring the podcast. If you think about it, every podcast out there is being sponsored by Amazon.
It's true.
Somehow, some way. But we're excited to have my brother-in-law here, Tristan Luna, and we're excited to have him here. Thankfully, by the way, he just got done with a podcast. So he's coming right after the podcast. They don't need to know the truth, so we'll do illusion. He literally just got done with a podcast.
Yeah, I did.
So watch out for that interview there.
Yeah.
But welcome to the Failed Podcast. And for those that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about what you do and also, just how you got into that business.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me here. I've enjoyed your podcast. They're educational. They're entertaining.
Sometimes
they're very it's very fun. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know, viewers. If you haven't subscribed, it's free. Mm-hmm. All you gotta do is click that. I don't know if you're gonna put it somewhere, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see those videos. Subscribe. I don't know. You're gonna do that.
I don't know to do that.
So I don't know, but maybe something to figure it out. But thank you for having me.
At first I was like, why are you pointing up? I was like, what?
Here or here?
I was like, where are we? What?
I'm actually still waiting for that when you do that in your videos. Like subscribe down below, up here. I don't know, something like that. But
expectation. You know what? I'm gonna try to figure out. Every time you just pointed right now, I'm gonna try to put this
here. It's right here. Do you guys do it? It's right here. All right. That's too much. But anyways,
gosh.
My name is Tristan, and James is my brother-in-law, and he's actually the first time I met him was back in 2006.
Yes.
Yeah, 2006. I was 12. Mm-hmm. I was 12, and then I started going to their church, and
no.
Yeah,
13.
I was 12 going 13 because it was June when I started going to the church. So I remember because it's a Father's Day.
So you're telling me that I had a crush on?
Yes, you did.
At 11?
Yes. Yeah, I guess. Funny thing is that he thought my sister was my girlfriend.
Yes.
And he's all like, "Hey, is that girl your who's that girl?" I was like, "Oh, that's my sister." I had to cut him off because I kind of knew where he was going. He's like, "That's my sister." But anyways,
actually, I didn't say who's that girl. By the way, I can't believe I did this. I went like this. Hey man, is that your girl? She's kind of cute.
I think something like that. And I'm just like, I scratched my head. I'm just like, no, that's my sister since birth. But anyways, we started going to the church. His dad's the pastor. I started going there, and it was fun being part of the church over at that time. It was a corner of Harbor City.
Yeah, literally right here.
Yeah, just
I mean,
Close by.
I don't disclose where I live.
Very close by. But
Nope,
anyways, I'm not gonna say the address. But anyways, yeah. So a little bit about myself. I practically grew up with him. We went to the same college together. I know ever since he's young, he's had a lot of ideas, business ideas and stuff like that. And after I graduated college, I started to save up money for a ring, because that's where I met my future wife, my wife to be. She's from Oregon. I'm here in Southern California, so I pretty much took her from the nice, clean, crisp air of Oregon, and I started saving up money. I started working.
Brought her to flavored air.
That's right, I did. I worked security jobs in college.
Yeah.
Those were fun jobs. I worked at a Payless shoe store, and I remember for some reason when everyone found out about it and it comes banquet time, they're like, "Hey, can we get a discount?" I was like, "You never spoke to me." Yeah. It was funny though, but they were just asking for stuff like, discounts, shoes and whatnot. And then after that, I worked at Chick-fil-A. We were actually the first batch to be employed at Chick-fil-A in
like ever?
Yeah, no, in that franchise. Imagine that, in that franchise. And Will was my manager. I still remember he asked me, "Hey, do you want to because he's a district leader, and he's pretty much just looking for a manager. And he asked me, "Do you want to be a manager?" I'm just like, "No, I don't want to. I'm a full-time college student." And really, you're a full-time worker also. But I didn't want to have that title of manager and just to get a lot of responsibilities, but not get paid as much. So I'm just like, I'll just be a worker. And then I quit that job, and then a friend of mine introduced me to working as a security guard. I worked at Juniper Networks, I worked at Hitachi, and I pretty much did a lot of flex. And then after graduation, I built up a portfolio of being a security guard. So pretty much all those jobs that I had in the past, I didn't have to put in my resume. I was a security guard at this company. And right away when I got back, they hired me at Time Warner Cable Sports.
Which is now Spectrum.
And that's where the Lakers are.
Yeah.
And crazy thing about this is that I have driven James Worthy's car multiple times.
You were worthy.
I was worthy. It's funny because I would sit behind the desk. I was in the lobby. He would walk in and he would just leave me his keys. And he's like, "Hey, whenever you need to move this, or any of the employees needs to get out or anything like that," because they were parked tandem and he's usually behind someone's car. And I would drive it, and man, I have to adjust his seat.
Is it a nice car?
It's a nice car. Yeah. He got Mercedes, and all. It's just he has different cars to be honest with you when he comes in, and it's so crazy. Like, dude, I'm driving
James Worthy's
car, and I think I got to.
Yeah, it was my favorite. Like little story time here. My favorite wedding gift. I mean, not my favorite. They're all equally my favorite.
Definitely.
But one of my favorite ones was the fact that he sent me a video from James Worthy congratulating my wife and I on our on our wedding, which was like stinking awesome because I'm a huge Laker fan. Yeah. Huge. So for me, that was huge. And his name is James. Or Big Game James. So,
I met a couple basketball players too, like D'Angelo Russell. Was like, "What up, number 2?" I said that. He looked at me just like, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I got the opportunity to train other police officers.
I said train Lakers.
No, imagine that.
Whoa,
no. I'm security. I'm not a basketball player. That is a weird transition. Transitioning to this, but I was pretty much being trained to be one of the lead officers there. But I told them I'm working in our Christian school, and I know your dad had spoken to me for after graduation to work at the Christian school, and I did part-time, but you know this by experience. Part-time is full-time.
Remember what happened to me just now?
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, that's a different story. But anyways,
thanks, Berjona.
we're gonna miss you.
Shout out to Berjona. We're gonna miss you, and thank you for putting me back full-time.
Yeah. But I pretty much trained a lot of security officers there. It's so easy to work a security job. They were paying pretty good. Dude. I'm talking about like $25 to $30 an hour.
Yeah.
And but the thing was that wasn't my calling.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in it for the money, But to be honest with you, at that time I was, because I was getting ready to, save up for my wedding, buy an engagement ring. So I did work. Your dad had, pretty much allowed me to work at the school and at Time Warner at the same time, and it was tiring. I would pick up graveyard shift. So from security, I would work midnight till 6 or 7 or so, and then pretty much go home, change a bit, and then go to school. And it was fun though, because my boss, there's a lot of downtime, so I was able to work with lesson plans and stuff like that. But I did that for a couple years, I think 2 years or so, and then I finally quit. And then I did DoorDash.
Would you say, going back, that schedule kind of helped prepare you for where you are now as far as like side hustles?
Oh, definitely. It enabled me to kind of just work out with my schedule, find things how can I work things out a lot easier, balancing and stuff like that. Like with e-commerce, which is what I'm doing. I'll talk to you guys more about it later on. It enabled me to figure things out, especially, the pandemic took place. Yeah. I was transitioning from one business model to another business model. And I was just like, oh man, I can't believe that as soon as I'm getting better at this business model, lockdown took place. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, so what do I do? And there's so much information out there.
For sure.
Free knowledge. Yeah. I joke around with people. I graduated in a university. It's called YouTube University. You could simply Google anything there to figure things out. But working as a security and at the school, yes, it helped me a lot just to balance with things. Like it was very difficult at first because I just graduated from college. I wanted to kind of like step back a bit and just kind of like have me time and just kind of relax. But I wanted to get that engagement ring, propose, get married, and move out of my parents' house and have our place of our own. And fast forward time, I'm living an awesome marriage life. My wife and I, we have 2 kids. My daughter's, her birthday was yesterday. My son's 3 years old, and they're at home right now. And it's been a fun journey. But going back to after working at Time Warner, after security, I worked as a delivery guy with DoorDash. And I know. By
the way, he's OG DoorDash. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I got all the perks and stuff like that. I got the big bags and everything. And I remember, actually, if you haven't seen the first episode, his brother was actually doing DoorDash also. It's so crazy. I remember that. It was fun. I mean, you get to set up your schedule, you open up the app, We're not sponsored by DoorDash, but if you are. So.
You don't DoorDash anymore, right?
No, I don't.
So I could ask this question.
Go ahead.
Be honest with me.
Yeah, sure.
Do you ever grab a piece of food?
Do I ever grab a piece of food? I can neither deny or confirm that.
Because my straight up said he grabbed some fries.
But I'll tell you this. Every time I maneuver, some of my stuff would fall. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't want this to go to waste.
Yeah, right?
So what I do is I pretty much get rid of it. So yeah, I did.
I got one.
I did.
I got one because DoorDash messed up. Or not DoorDash. I think Carl's Jr. messed up.
Yeah.
On the burger. So when I gave it, they were like, this isn't what I ordered.
Yeah.
So I went back, which stunk because like it was a waste. Yeah. But it wasn't that far. But at least I got like a burger.
Yeah. I mean, I have some instances where I'm at the store. I already picked up the order, and the customer would just message me and say, hey, I'm canceling the order.
I think I remember that. I think I remember we ate pizza at your parents' house.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, I got free DoorDash food.
Yeah.
But now they're strict now because I've ordered stuff through DoorDash.
Yeah.
And they have tape. They tape over their boxes, their bags. So if it's been tampered, that the driver tampered with it. So yeah. So I mean, as a business progress, there are things that they upgrade. Yeah. So I think I caught on early with Amazon, to be honest with you, which I will tell you because.
So was it right after DoorDash, the Amazon?
No, I did DoorDash for almost 2 years.
And then Amazon?
And then no, actually, I was doing Amazon at the same time.
At the same time as DoorDash.
I was figuring out what Amazon is. Right. Obviously, everyone knows what Amazon is.
Now, is there a reason now? I think of DoorDash. DoorDash is app based. It's an internet thing. Was that one of the things that kind of helped click in your head that, like, you know what? Maybe there's other avenues of that's app based or internet based that I can make money in.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I did. I Googled after DoorDash. I would go home and I would Google something like this on the line. Like, what are something that you could do at home? What are something you could do using the internet?
Yeah.
And a lot of things. The search that came up were e-commerce, drop shipping, arbitrage, and all those kind of things. And I saw, do you want to sell on Amazon? And I'm just like, sell on Amazon? I'm a customer and I buy stuff on Amazon. Yeah. And I looked into it. I pretty much YouTube, again, YouTube, free knowledge. You could always get information there. I YouTube how to sell on Amazon. And I came across this guy's YouTube account. His name is Reezy Resell. Maybe our viewers know who he is, but he's the one that got me actually started selling on Amazon. He pretty much went on to create an account, so forth and so on. I created an account, and he's a huge bookseller. Okay. I'm talking about he does a lot of books. He sells a lot of books, and I watch a lot of his videos, how to get started, what are some tools you need to get your business going. And I'm just like, is this legit? Because like he sells books. Yeah. And when you ask somebody, what do you do for a living? I sell books. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of like, really? You sell books? I was listening to a podcast on the way here, and one of the guy, he is actually a software creator of the Scout IQ. His name is Caleb. And we've messaged at the beginning of my Amazon journey, and he was messaging me, pretty much giving me advice, what tools, what software to have in scanning books. Because before I would go to Goodwill, thrift stores, library, and I would scan using my Amazon seller app. And it wasn't as fast as having a scanner. And you could you put on your put in your AirPod, and you could just hear a certain sound when you know that that book is profitable. And I would be scanning. I'm talking about like that. Would be like, yes, no, that is it. And there's a place here in the Lama Mall. I think it's called, I forgot what it's called. It's books. It's a lot of books. And I would stay there for like 2 hours, and I would scan books. Out of that, I would find books that's profitable, ranging from $3 to $50. Wow. Yeah, $3 to $50, and I'm just like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I started doing that, and I went on to like watch videos how to send books. Yeah. Because there's a couple business models. There's FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, or FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon takes care of that. And I pretty much like, how do you package this, and how do you know where to send it? Yeah. But on your Seller Central account, you could go there and pretty much Amazon will give you the shipping label of where your books is going to go. And I shipped out my first batch of books. And at this time, I was getting ready to go to Oregon. I think Miguel was with me. Yeah, I think Miguel was with me. I was getting ready to ask my wife the question, will you marry me? And it was fun just to have my best man there, Miguel. And then I was looking at my Amazon seller app, just kind of scrolling, refreshing it. No sales. Yeah. And then finally refreshed it, and I sold an item. I was like, what could it be? I sold my first ever item, and it was a book. I got it for 50 cents, and I sold it for, I think it was $15.99, made about $3 profit. Hey, yeah. And I'm just like, cool. And I looked at where it's going to go to. It's going to go to Paris. It was going to Paris, and I'm just like, wow. That's amazing. That's pretty cool. And that's how I got started.
Let me ask you this. When you got started in this, was part of it purely financial, or was part of it just kind of like the thrill of the hunt?
It was both.
A little bit of both.
It's both.
Because I feel like, like some of it, because I remember at that time you'd be like, man, I'm excited to go sourcing. No, yeah. So was there like an aspect, kind of like a treasure hunt?
It was. You never know when you go out retail arbitrage. You never know what you're gonna scan. Like, for example, this is a crazy story. It's 1 week before our baby shower. Fast forward time, my wife is getting ready to give birth to our first child. So the church did a baby shower for us, And a week before that, my mom works in a thrift store also, and she gets the discount. So I took advantage of that. So she would get discounts. Okay. And I remember going out with her, and I told her, anything that looks good, just pick it up, put it in your cart, and I'll meet you back, and I'll scan it and I'll check it out. And I remember I was scanning books. I had a pretty good amount of books, profitable items. And I remember I went to where she was at, and I found this 2 sets of 30-mile military walkie-talkie, brand new.
Oh, wow.
Brand new. And it's the walkie-talkie that security officers use. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm gonna grab this. I scanned it, and in my seller app, there were no sellers.
Yeah.
So I use a software called Keepa. Now, Keepa is a software where it pretty much shows historical data of how much it was purchased, when, long ago, who's in stock, so forth and so on. And I remember I saw it as much as $300.
Wow.
So I'm just like, that's pretty cool.
How much did you buy it for?
$20 each.
And there was 2.
And there's 2.
Nice.
And I remember I shipped it out, and I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna ship this out as soon as possible. Packed it. I made sure that it was well protected. And then I remember when it went active, I remember my wife, I still remember it. She was calling me to climb up the ladder to finish things out for the baby shower. And I remember like, hold on. Because once you're an Amazon seller, looking at the Amazon app is like breathing. Yeah. It's like part of you. And I remember I was scrolling, and I saw my number just went from, I don't know, like 100 to like 400. I was like, whoa. And I
sold one?
And I sold one. And I kid you not, after the baby shower, I sold the other one.
Wow.
Yeah, and the profit was $2. I'm just kidding. No, it's not.
Imagine.
No, the profit was, so I sold for $300. Obviously, after fees, Amazon will take their share. Mm-hmm. I like to say that I'm an investor to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I'm one of his guys that
you own him.
Made it possible for him to go to space. So, Jeff,
he calls him Big J.
Big JB. No, he stepped out. No, he's no longer the CEO. And by the way, if you're into stocks, Amazon just announced a 21 split. So, anyways, that's a different topic. But yeah, so I made a profit of I think a little over $200 for one. Mm-hmm. So that day, while I was doing baby shower, while I was at church, doing the things that I love in my own time, I made $400.
Yeah, nice.
And
in a matter of minutes.
Minutes, yeah. Yes, I had to put in time, but I scheduled that time. Like, hey, I'm going to go out for 2 hours just to go sourcing.
Is that your most profitable item so far that just came out of nowhere?
As far as, yes, that's my most profitable item. I've had books that profited me $100. Mm-hmm. Textbooks are profitable. You have students that's getting rid of their textbooks, and you could buy it for $5. You could go to a thrift store and stuff like that. And I've sold a lot of textbooks. And I remember when Joseph was born, I sold a textbook, and it profited me that day. Just one textbook, $150.
Wow.
And I'm just like, this is crazy, because a lot of people would spend.
There goes your student loans.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
A lot of hours in working. No, there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, I work 9 to 5. I still have 9 to 5. But the thing is, if you don't like your 9 to 5, after your 9 to 5, you got to find something that you're passionate about.
For sure.
And you got to grind till you can replace your 9 to 5. Yeah. I would not encourage you to quit your 9 to 5, but use your 9 to 5 that you have right now to fund your business
project. Yeah.
That's, that's what I did.
And that's kind of what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you. Yeah. It's not really the 9 to 5 that's funding this podcast. It's more like the after 9 to 5, which is like the other side hustle. Yeah. I guess the 9 to 5 is funding my everyday life, which is like the bills and everything. Yeah. And then I'm making websites. If you ever need a website, let me know. For websites and stuff like that. And that's funding, I guess, my passion. Yeah. And really that's how it is. And you're a testament of a person that really just grinded until it started to become profitable. Yeah. I still remember where the 9 to 5, and we'll talk about that in a bit here, that your Amazon is profitable now. But I still remember there was a time where really you're kind of doing it. If I'm being real, you don't even know if the money's going to come in.
No, yeah, a lot of times. Because I told my wife I'm going to start off $200 a month for inventories.
Yeah.
Now $20.
You put in $200.
Yeah, I put in $200. And then after that, I'm pretty much done for the month. I mean, I still went sourcing, but I was more picky. I would have buying criteria and I would have profit criteria, because like I don't want to over budget, because we have expenses, we have bills to pay, we have debt and stuff like that. I wasn't good in college budgeting. I was spending money left and right.
We all weren't.
With credit card and stuff like that.
Bro, we all weren't.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I tell the students all the time, budget. What is budgeting? Knowing where your money goes instead of wondering where it went. Because as soon as you get the $100, it's gone. And you're like, where'd it go?
Bro, I'll tell you this, man. Last month I made, I don't know if I should say it, but I made a couple thousand.
Yeah.
Extra.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
It stressed me out realizing that it was just gone so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world? And my goal, like I had plans for that money, and I was just like, and if I'm being honest, I was a little careless because, I budget my money. Sometimes you budget your money at a specific amount. Yeah. So when you get a surplus, you're like, holy smokes, this is crazy. Yeah. I guess I didn't prepare for that budgeting. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I got a surplus of a good amount. Dude, it's just like, yo.
You go fast.
Dude, I was like, it didn't even pay off my part of my debt and stuff. And I'm like, what the ghetto, man? Especially with like inflation.
Oh, yeah. People say I got a raise, but inflation is what, 20%? Correct me, viewers. But
dude, it's crazy, man. So yeah, man, young people, man, budget, bro. Yeah. Like for real. Definitely. Like it goes by fast.
Not only that, invest.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, that's one of my biggest failure in life also.
Oh, yeah.
Is not investing. I just got into investing just recently. Like when I say recently, probably 2-3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of our staff. I did Robinhood. I have Webull also, but I did Robinhood 2019, I think, as far as that. And it wasn't until like the summer of before the pandemic when I introduced it to some of our church staff.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone were going crazy about Moderna.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we had a lot of stocks in Moderna, and now Moderna is just so much. It's just all these stocks and stuff like that. We had no idea what we were investing into, but we were just going with hype. And also, you got to know where you're investing. That's one of my mistakes too. Is just investing of like long term and stuff like that.
And it's funny for me. My biggest regret in investing is the fact that like, for some reason, I was so sure about it. Yeah. But I wasn't sure enough to put money in it.
No, yeah, I know you.
You know what I mean?
I know what that means.
Dude, okay, I'll tell you a story. April of 2020. Okay. I remember talking to the kids. I remember introducing a new concept, called NFTs to the young people.
Yeah, you were talking about
to the students.
Yeah.
And I told them about like, look at this. And I remember I was like, look at this stupid ape. This stupid monkey. It was called. And I said, this stupid monkey is worth, and this is crazy for me to say right now, and it was already shocking. I said, I can't believe this thing's worth $3,000. I was like, bro, it's worth 1 Ethereum.
It's insane.
If you guys know what Bored Ape Yacht Club is, that thing is worth, well, how much is it worth? 500,000, 300,000 for one.
The floor price is around.
I could have bought it for $3,000.
It's crazy.
And I told the young people, like, this is how you should invest. But it's amazing to me. Like, it ticks me off. My regrets is I needed to put my money where my mouth was. So I'm like, yo, look, you all need to invest. And I'm like, yo, how come I didn't invest $3,000 in this? And I guess it's a big money. 3,000 is a lot.
That's a lot.
But at the same time, the potential is high risk, higher reward.
The thing is that NFTs and all this crypto, they're just so new to us.
For real.
Web3 and all this stuff that people talk about.
It's still scary because there's no secure pattern to it.
I failed many times in NFTs.
Because you think about it like with
rugged.
stocks. Oh no,
I've been rugged.
I'm rugged with you because I listen to you. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just like, hey, anything after I've said, you're responsible for clicking me. Okay,
but
it's crazy. Yeah,
but like
we failed together.
Like, yes, thank you. At least I didn't fail alone. But like I think of like
terrible.
stocks. Like I think the risk wise, so many people are still leaning more to stocks than NFTs and like cryptos, because I feel like you could see a pattern to it because they're an actual company.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if
been tested,
they're doing well, then
proven.
you're doing well. Like every time let's say you have an Apple stock, if you buy a phone, you're kind of helping the stock in a way. And that's a very minuscule way, but you're supporting the business. So you're in a way helping it. Now, for those watching, what do you do now? So what is your business primarily about?
My business is pretty much
source, ship, sell.
Source, ship, sell.
Now, what does that mean too?
It means what that.
I know
means.
what ship and sell means. I just don't know source.
The word source, it means pretty much going out and buying stuff. Like you're sourcing inventories that you have the intent to ship out to make sales. I came up with that because like what, Amazon is pretty much a huge company that fulfill orders for customers, and not a lot of customers know that. I think over 50% of it are third-party sellers. Yeah, third-party sellers, and I'm just like, what, I am going to be a third-party seller since I applied to be an Amazon seller. And what's a catchy name for my company? So I came up with Source, Ship, Sell. But anyways, this one right here is Source, Ship, Sell. 3 S's, Source, Ship, Sell. And you source item, you ship it out to Amazon, and that's how you make sales. It's a simple formula of making money through Amazon. And I started with books, and I tell people all the time, books bring a bang to your bank for just $1.
Well, it's funny you say books, and Amazon started off with books.
That's true.
Amazon is actually a book selling program. I still remember the time when it started pivoting, because a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you want some candy?" And I was like, "From where?" I was like, "Amazon." I'm like, "Amazon, the book place?"
Yeah.
No, we buy candy. I was like, "Candy," and then he bought candy, and that was the time Amazon shocking to me, because I was like, "Why would you buy it online? You know how long that's gonna take?" He's like, "No, it got here. It's getting here tomorrow," or something like that. I was like, "What the how?"
That's crazy.
So let's go back here. So you talk about you started Amazon. How long did it take? And then let me just ask this before we get there. Yeah. You talk about you work at a 9 to 5, which you work at a school, which we work at the same school. Yeah. But is your Amazon more profitable than what you make at the school?
I know you mentioned earlier, why do I sell? Is it for financial reason, the thrill?
Or the hunt? Yeah.
I want to add into that. One other thing is just the freedom to work and to have more time to be honest in the ministry. Right. In the ministry. Yeah. And that's what I'm called. And it definitely doing Amazon now freed me up from doing the secular job where there's nothing wrong about it. Yeah. Because my passion is just to be, to help others. For sure. You and I, we work with the young people. For sure. And we're really burdened about their future. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons also is just to have the freedom. For sure. And I never really pursue scaling up on Amazon. I just wanted to be able to like pay the rent. Right. Fast forward time, it's profitable. Yeah. My wife and I, we worked together at the Christian school, and she was she getting paid, I was getting paid. She worked 3rd and 4th. I worked at high school students, junior high, and just last year she had to quit the job. Yeah. Reason being is because we were expecting our second baby. Yeah. Baby girl, and she turned 1 yesterday. I already mentioned that, but it's gonna be a lot. It's tough for her to be teaching. For sure. Yeah. And being at home taking care of the kids. So we prayed about it. We talked to pastor about her not being able to come back and teach anymore. It was pretty tough for her because she grew attached to those students. Yeah. And she also worked with the teenagers, and she works at home now. But I claim that verse where it says God giveth the increase. If you look in my Instagram, it's one of the first bio. It's in my bio that says God giveth the increase, because I never had the intention to get rich. I just wanted to be like things,
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Bills paid off. Debts paid off.
Yeah.
Fast forward time. Amazon had selling on Amazon had enabled me to pay off debt, invest, and it definitely pays a lot.
Yeah.
Even combined with my wife, with our paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy story is this: one of our coworkers also works or does Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I remember introducing it to him a while, I think 2020 of October. Yeah, 2020 of October. And then he was only just working for like, he got in a good time.
Yeah.
Because it was Q4 where Thanksgiving, Christmas, Black Friday and stuff like that. And I remember I taught him what I do. And if you guys ever want to be coach, you could reach out to me.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna give you a time to plug that later too.
Oh, definitely. All right.
Yeah.
And you know, I've helped out people. You could affiliate that too if you want.
Yeah, that's right.
But I've people have been reaching out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Bible college students.
Yeah.
Church members.
Yeah.
Coworker, and a missionary.
Oh no, yeah.
A missionary. He's been in contact with you as well, and he's a full-time pastor. And again, there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5, but just, you know, if you're in full-time ministry, definitely 9 to 5 will drain you. Will burn you out.
For sure.
Will burn you out. And I didn't want to be burned out doing the ministry because of my secular job 9 to 5.
For sure. Now, is the Amazon? You don't have to say it if you're not comfortable, but does it pay more than the school?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take to go from there? Now, was it like just quick, or was it some time? I guess I just wanted to, you know, kind of so the viewers can know, how long does it take to build a profitable business like this?
Kid you not. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to my Jonah.
Okay.
It took 4 months.
Wow.
4 months.
I'm interested in this. So 4 months, how long?
4 months. I wasn't serious.
Give me numbers, man. Give me numbers.
Okay,
Let's do it. We'll get his numbers, not yours. Let's
okay,
do
his number. Okay, so he came in Q4. It's October 2020, and then in 2021, January, his payout was the biggest payout. He was getting paid $2,000-$3,000. It was fluctuating around that, you know, profit and stuff like profit. Okay, profit.
Yeah.
January 2021, I asked him to give me his spreadsheet, because I asked him like, hey, how do you figure out your inventories and stuff like that. So he gave me his spreadsheet, and he messaged me. He said, hey, don't mind the expenses and the profit. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll delete it. I'll take care of it. He didn't erase it. And I was scrolling his expenses. He was buying stuff from Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Ross, Marshalls. And he was like, oh, these are the places I go sourcing at.
Yeah.
Scroll down. He spent, remember, it takes money, you know, to make money.
Yeah, for sure.
He spent an X amount of money, a couple $1,000s. But his return of investment, profit-wise, 1 month, 10 grand.
Wow.
Almost 10 grand. It's 9,000 something dollars. That's just the month of January.
Yeah.
So it's profitable.
Dude.
It is crazy. Profitable.
And it's really just a matter of...
And he does it part-time.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of... Really, I mean, I don't know if... Because I haven't done it. You do it. Is it just a matter of how much work you put in? And also knowledge.
In the beginning, yes. Yeah. I had to grind. But now, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably put in 5 to 10 hours a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's still gaining the profit that you'd like for it to gain.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just very profitable. Now, let me ask you this. So we talked about that, how long it took. We talked about how long it can take. And I think that helped him. The reason why it took Jonah so much quicker than you is because you helped him.
Yeah.
You kind of guided him and made sure he doesn't make the same mistakes you did.
And this is where, you know, the podcast is all about. I failed a lot.
Yeah.
One of the failures I made is...
We're about to go to that, by the way. Let me ask the question first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wait.
My bad.
You're going ahead of me, man. No, I'm kidding.
You know, you watch your podcast so much, I kind of know what
my pattern is.
Your pattern is.
I gotta do that, man. I gotta change it up, man.
You have to.
What was the high point? No, okay.
Subscribe.
No, but like I was thinking about this as you were saying that, like, it's amazing how Brother Jonah, he succeeded as far as kind of learning from your mistakes. And I think, you know, for those listening, you know, I think that's one mistake that a lot of young people and young adults go is like, they don't learn from people's mistakes.
Yeah.
You learn from people's mistakes, man.
definitely.
They're there to help you.
It'll save you headaches and heartaches.
Oh, for sure. A lot of times when I teach something, it's not really the fact that like I guess mad, or it's more of like I want you guys to learn from the mistakes I did when I was younger. The mistakes I did in business. The mistakes I did. And look how much profitable it was that one person decided, okay, you telling me not to do this and do this, I'll do that, and shot up a lot faster.
Way faster.
You're talking 3 months?
Yeah.
I might talk to you about that after this. We're talking about
definitely, yeah.
But let's go back to your business. It doesn't have to be your business, but actually let's talk about business and life in general.
Yeah.
What was the lowest point of your life that kind of led you to here?
Not necessarily just me, but my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent one, I said my wife and I, when she had
Notice you said the most recent one.
the miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was tough because like I had no control over it, you know. But throughout that I recognized that God giveth and He taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. But it was low, man. I'm human. I question God. You know. It was the most recent lowest time of my life with my wife and I when she had the miscarriage. She was 8 weeks out, and she just told me like a couple days that she's pregnant, and I was so happy. Yeah, you know, just like the joy to have another child. And then I remember a Sunday night. Yeah, she didn't come to church because she wasn't feeling well. She was having headaches. And I was, you know, I failed to pay attention. And husbands, you know, I mean, we failed to listen to our spouse, you know, to our wives many times. But she was telling me like, you know, I'm hurting and stuff like that. And I asked her, you want to go to the hospital? Like, no, I think I could take it, but I'll stay home. Yeah. And during this time, I was introducing to our our high school students about Amazon also. Yeah. And I remember I told one of the students, I told my wife, I'll be home a little bit late. I just want to help out one of our students do Amazon to scan things. And I remember we went to Ross, and on the way there, she called me. And I'm just like, hey, JB, I'm so sorry. I got to go home. My wife's not feeling well. We got to go to the hospital. So I dropped him, you know, I dropped him off, drove back home, and she was crying. She was crying. And Joseph, I think he was a little over a year old at that time. And I remember I was like, are you okay? And then she was pretty much saying like, no, I'm bleeding. Take me to the hospital. I'm in so much pain. And right there, I'm just like, okay, I need to be strong for her. Yeah. But man, it's tough. Yeah. And we dropped off Joseph to my parents. I told my parents what's happening. And we prayed, Lord, I know this is nothing serious. The baby's okay. She's going to be okay and stuff like that. And I remember going to the hospital. We had to, and by the way, this is where pandemic was starting to happen. It's February 2020 when she had the miscarriage, and we had to wear masks. We have to kind of just separate ourselves from other people. The ER was packed with a lot of sick people. COVID. Yeah. And I remember we finally got called in. She got checked. She was crying. I was just like, Lord, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. And please don't take the baby from us. And then the doctor finally said, I can't find the heart. You know, it just clumps. They can't really find the baby. They can't really find, you know, anything in her. And they were saying that she had internal bleeding. She was bleeding. And they gave her medicine. They couldn't even hear the heartbeat. Yeah. We had to go to her OB, and her OB confirmed also like, yeah, I can't see the heart. I can't see the baby, and I can't hear the heartbeat. And right there, we pretty much accepted that, you know, first I praise the Lord that nothing serious happened to my wife. And nothing serious, you know, we weren't given a position where it's either you or your wife. Yeah. You know, that's hard. You know, I I talk about it like, just trust God. But man,
That's hard.
when it's you, how much are you gonna trust God?
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's so devastating to see her go through that.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess her lowest moment in life was also my lowest.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, but they gave her medicine, and her body took care of what it needs to take care for the baby and stuff like that. And it was difficult. And I remember one of her students, I didn't cry. Like it was a shock. Like we had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
But I didn't cry for the next couple of days. But I don't know. But one of her students gave her a dessert to like just comfort her, and she gave it to me. I kid you not. I was eating, and it was so delicious. And I saw her like in the living room. She was standing there, and she just had a miscarriage, but she's taking care of the house already, folding clothes, doing stuff. She was moving around, and here I am just eating. And I looked at her, and I looked at her stomach, and I looked at the food, and I kid you not, I cried. Why
were you eating the cake? Okay.
I don't know.
I thought that was for her.
No, it was for her, but she gave it to me.
You're so good. No, kidding.
No, she is really strong. But that was probably one of my lowest point in my life. But the beauty about it is that I know that God took care of us. He enabled me to go through this difficulty with someone. And that's kind of like, I want to transition with the business side.
Yeah.
When you're doing business, one of the things that you want to do is network with people.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of weird transition, right? With marriage.
Like my wife, I network with her.
Yeah. Network.
But it's true. Yeah.
I think that's where I failed in my business. I didn't network with a lot of people. I was kind of like selfish with the informations that I have.
Dude.
But I'll be honest with you, there's so much things that you can profit from.
Yeah.
Sometimes the reason why you want to network with people is like, yes, you share ideas and stuff like that, but sometimes they could figure things out that you can't figure out.
Yeah.
They're smarter than you, and then that enabled you like, I'll do that.
Why do you think there are people that's scared to network?
Just losing information. They might get their information stolen.
Yeah.
They might lose value, competition.
You think part of it is they feel like they could get betrayed?
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
I think that was my problem, honestly, with networking. There was a time I used to be a social butterfly, but I feel like, I don't know, just life happens.
Yeah.
You feel like you get betrayed sometimes, and you just don't want to get any more new people. But I think there are people out there, for those of you listening, that are scared to make new friends just because you've been betrayed by people. Just because you were betrayed by those people doesn't mean there's nobody out there that's actually good.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody. You'll find some real people, but you'll never find them if you don't seek out for it.
That's true. Yeah.
You'll never find them if you don't actually reach out and network. So now I went from like, I don't care anymore to really networking. And if I'm being honest, shout out to all of you people that are listening to my podcast. There's a lot of real people that are supporting this podcast, that are messaging me.
Subscribe.
If I'm being honest, that's just hard editing, man. But if I'm being honest, man, like I didn't know, and I'm being real with y'all, for those of you listening, I didn't know you guys would ever, we would ever talk again or really have this connection again.
Yeah.
And the support you guys give me is just amazing. And I guess thank you so much for that support. If I can, and I mean that when I say like I truly appreciate your support, if I can find a way to support you, and I think that's my problem. I feel like I didn't support much people, and now I want to support people. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you talked about networking because it is important. It's
free to share someone's story. You know, it's free to give a shout out
for sure
to someone. I know. Have you interviewed her?
Who?
Catherine Abroad?
Not yet,
but but she networked. She is a hardcore network, because I started my business Instagram way before her, and my Instagram is just like 2,400 followers.
Yeah,
but I think she's like on the road to 20,000 followers.
That's crazy, bro.
She has some. She networked herself with her niche.
I don't know.
NICHE. I don't know. But yeah, she networked really well, and it's amazing what can happen when you just reach out to people, share your ideas, they'll share their ideas, you network. But then again, be very careful out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying like blindly just follow people. You got to get to know them as well.
Well, it's kind of like the whole wife thing. I mean, you did pivot from having a wife to networking. So let's go back to the wife thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't just grab any person, suddenly make them your wife.
It's true.
You know, you get to know them,
Yeah.
you get to develop a relationship, and you want to make sure you're sure. And the same thing with networking.
Yep.
You know, before you actually really partner with someone, get to know them, really understand them, not just their business plan, but also just like who they are and what they do.
It's a relationship.
And, yeah, exactly. Spouse and business.
No, it's true.
Yeah, it's true, though. It is true. It's just funny how that segued to that.
No, it's crazy.
But let me ask you this. How did you overcome that low moment in your life? Was it a slow grind? Was it a quick thing? Was it a moment of,
as far as transitioning, like getting back to my business again, or just
yeah. And I mean, you know, we're talking about the low point in your life. How did that, you know, usually with a low point, it kind of helps a person.
Yeah.
Or some lessons you learned. How did you pivot from that?
I'd say just, you know, one of the things is, you know, I'm a Christian, is getting in God's word.
Mm-hmm.
I studied the life of Job. I read the book of Job. I mess around with my mom. This is just like, you know, if you ever need a job, just read the book of Job. But no, I studied the life of Job. I read, and it helped me also to develop a message.
Mm-hmm.
Because later on in life, when I started to share our miscarriage, God has started to put people in our lives, even in social media. Like they're sharing their stories, how they had miscarriage. They're reaching out to me, encouraging me in social media.
Wow.
And we also have church members that have also experienced multiple miscarriages.
Yeah.
And I see them still serving the Lord. I don't see them blaming God. There's a sense, there's still that questioning. We're humans, like, why God?
Yeah.
But
sure.
you know, just God's word had helped me. People have helped me.
Yeah.
And just staying busy for the Lord, staying busy for my business is enabled me just to, you know, recover from that, not stay defeated. Because like if getting back to my business after that it was slow. It's just slow. It was like slow.
So in a way, it was also a low point in your business.
Yeah, it was a low point in my business. But then there's this guy. He's my mentor. He helped me out a lot to scale up in my business.
Yeah.
To become 6-figure.
Yeah.
Part-time. His name is Sam. He's West Coast Goods. If you don't follow him, check him out on Instagram. But he's from Oregon, but he moved here in California. I think he's in Corona area. Yeah. But he gave me his personal number.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we message each other. We FaceTime call and stuff like that. This is another one of my failures. He's a very driven guy when it comes to business. Mm-hmm. He started a Discord group with someone and I joined. I was one of the pioneers of that. And then he was charging an X amount of money and I'm just like, hey, I can't afford this. I should have been like, hey, you know, is there a way I could help your Discord group so I could stay for free? But you know, I just like I stopped joining. Fast forward time, his Gumroad Discord, his courses, he has like $800,000 worth of courses now that people have purchased, and his group has grown.
That's crazy.
But the thing was, I felt like, man, I wish
you would have been one of the pioneers. Yeah.
Yeah, but he. But he took me back in. Yeah. And he gave me some responsibilities in that area, affiliated his course and stuff like that, ungating with Nikes, Adidas, Topical, and all these stuff. But he mentored me. He took me under his wings because I did share to him what I was, with the miscarriage and stuff like that. We're pretty close to each other, and he introduced me to other people as well. He's more of the eBay guy, but he is crazy when it comes to eBay. Yeah. Like he's a 6-figure guy. I think he's on the road to 7-figure. But anyways, he helped me out, cope up with that, in the sense of taking care of business. He says, get back up. You got a family to take care of. Yeah. You got bills to pay. And stuff like that. And he's one of those people that also helped me out in the business. He mentored me. He encouraged me to get an LLC because I started as a sole proprietor. Yeah. I use my social security, and then I showed him my figure. And he's like, your business is scaling up. And I didn't intend to scale up, but if you ever think of doing Amazon, it is scalable and it's doable.
Yeah.
I talked to one guy yesterday about that. He interviewed me because he was shocked for me to generate an X amount of money of sales and profit that X amount of money in a year doing part-time.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe it, but I showed him my numbers, men and women lies, but numbers don't, right?
Yeah.
I showed him that, but he helped me out, get your LLC, have your EIN and stuff like that, because man, your business is thriving.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that just kind of pushed me get back to your business. There were people that, encouraged me to get back with life.
Yeah.
Right. But I think without him, probably my Amazon business would still be a side hustle as opposed to just being a actual business, because, I have an LLC for it, so forth and so on.
What is your advice for those that goes through something personal, and because of that, in turn, it is affecting their business? What is your advice to those people?
Don't go live by yourself. Seriously, don't hold that. Talk to somebody.
For sure.
I'm not, certified person to talk to people with depression or anxiety or anything like that. But, as a Christian, we go to God's word, right? We get encouragement from that. I get encouragement from fellow believers. But surround yourself with people that will encourage you, because the biggest mistake that you have is go to life tired, depressed, disappointed, all by yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think your brother's the one that said this, and he's preaching like, there's only two people invited in a pity party, yourself and the devil.
Yeah.
And the devil is not there to encourage you or anything like that. Surround yourself with people that's
for sure,
that's vibing, positive, upbeat. Yes, they have their own personal problems and stuff like that, but in return, you encourage them.
Yeah.
As they encourage you, you encourage them.
For sure.
Don't go life by yourself.
Yeah. It's funny you say that as far as like vibing. I'm the type of person that, like, if I go to a funeral, not a funeral, but like somebody just died to comfort, I'm the type of person that, and I'm glad people get me now. Yeah. That
get you
I'm there to make them laugh. Everybody's already been there to help you cry with you and hug you. Yeah. And I love that people are starting to get it, because for me, I feel like that's kind of like the gift God given me. Like, hey, I'm gonna be here to make you smile. Yeah. I know you've been crying, and we've already had people cry with you. Let me be the guy to make you laugh. Yeah. Sometimes you need that, man. You need to take that break. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's good to have. And by the way, that's why it's good to have a network of people, because you could have that one friend, but it's good to have a multitude. Oh yeah. Because the Bible says that too, multitude of counselors, their safety. And I know that talks about counsel, but it also talks about friendships, really. You have multiple people encouraging you. It'll help. You need a person to cry with. You need a person
that laughs with you.
But also laughs with you.
And at you from time to time.
Exactly. And to put things in perspective, that everything's going to be okay. Whenever there's a trial, you need one person to tell you, to be with you, and says, this sucks. You do need that, being honest. But you also need one person to come to you and be like, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's a little bit of balance.
Yeah, that's what you need, balance, yeah.
So let me ask you this. As far as Amazon goes, what's the next step in your career? And are you content where you're at now? Or are you trying to scale more? What's the goal here?
I'm looking for a prep center. Meaning, I want it not automated, but I want to be able to just kind of order, shipped out to a warehouse, and it's taken care of. One of the vision I have, if that doesn't work out, is hire students. A lot of them have committed to being full-time ministry, not necessarily preaching or anything like that, but I want to be able to kind of hire in people from our school, graduating students, college students, so that way they have a set schedule where they don't miss church activities, church events. Because that's one of my reason also why I did Amazon, is just to have the freedom. For sure. To do whatever I want, in the sense of not missing church, not missing activities. And I want to be able to have a warehouse, not a huge warehouse or anything like that, but just have a prep center of my own if I can't get a prep center somewhere else. I joke around with Christian and Josh and a couple guys and Gile actually. Gile took over Jonah's.
Is he
Amazon
part of your
store.
group now too?
We're gonna do a video call tomorrow just to kind of go over some softwares and stuff like that. But these guys, they're hungry. They're excited. I was teaching Josh a method that I do, and he texted me during school hour and said, "Hey, I just listed this, and it sold, and it sold again." I was like, "Bump up, bring up the price." He added $5 to his profit, and then he was still selling. I was like, "That's the power of this method that not a lot of people do," which I talk about if you decide to do a video call with me. But anyways, where was I? Scaling. Yeah. So just be able to share the wealth, if you may.
Yeah. Are you planning to do kind of like a mentorship?
I
mean, you are doing it already. I'm saying like as far as, paid or anything like that.
I actually did. Your brother and one of our coworker, Ralph Yubienko, millionaire in our midst. But anyways, shout out to him. He's a huge encouragement. Also, the things that he went through. But your brother and Ralph have actually talked to me like, why don't you charge?
Yeah.
I'm a person of like, I don't want to charge because I'd rather have you use that fund to.
I like that.
Invest in yourself.
I do like that.
But then again, they were like, you are taking away your time, your value,
true.
Stuff
That's
like
true.
that. So what I did,
I think if your intentions are pure, I think it's okay to charge as long as your intention was pure to begin with.
Yeah, just to help you out. Because get this, I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'll pay you $200 just to video chat." It's like, you don't have to. I'll go ahead and help you out.
Yeah.
And they come and then we video chat. I don't charge them. It didn't bother me, but it could have been a huge help. That's $200 that could have been invested to something else, right?
Something else though, bro.
And I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I reached out to a guru. Be careful with those that flex their Lambos and numbers and stuff like that."
By the way, be careful with those. Yes. You know those little ads where they change? I could show you right now how to go to Google Chrome, go to your bank account and change the number. You just got to go through developer source and change the code. It's super easy.
You showed that to me yesterday with Wordle, right?
Change it.
It's terrible. That's terrible. And then, I've seen people that got started with Amazon but got discouraged because of gurus saying that you are guaranteed to make $1,000 on your first week. I'm just like, I've experienced not going with the guru or anything like that. We make fun of gurus because like they're taking your money and they're hard to get a hold of. I'm not saying all of them, but like a lot. There are gurus out there that will charge you $300 for a course where you could have gotten that course from YouTube for free.
Just research.
Somebody paid $3,000. This lady that paid this guy to be coached on Amazon for $3,000 and ask her this: what value did you get out of that?
Yeah.
And she said, I could have gotten it from YouTube. Did you get your money back? No. And I'm just like, that's $3,000.
Yeah. That hurts.
So what I did is this. Going back to that mentorship, your brother and Ralph said, why don't you just charge a little bit?
Yeah.
So I took a survey just a couple weeks ago. If I were to coach you for an hour, how much is a fair price?
Yeah.
Some guy said $50, $100, $200. And then I started getting messages like, hey, can you show me what you do? Because I show my numbers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm transparent. Like if I sell an item,
for sure,
I show it to them, like where I bought it, so on. And somebody messaged me like, hey, can you mentor me? Like, yeah, sure. You could just donate. I said donate.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'll give you $100.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, let's do this. We'll do a video chat, and then you could just charge me however is a fair price.
Josh?
No, it wasn't Josh.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Josh. Well, his was free. But he messaged me and his name is Saul. I know he's been taking action doing Amazon. So I think that's one of the things too. Just take action.
Yeah.
But anyways, we video chat and we went as long as almost 2 hours.
Wow.
And he paid me $50.
That's cool.
And he was willing to pay $200. But I told him $50.
I think if your intentions are pure, I think of like I was just listening to I mean, not listening. I interviewed the last podcast, Gil Sanchez, and he talks about how like he's a trainer.
Yeah.
But his intention, just listening to him, is so pure. His main goal really is to help people because he was bullied when he was a kid.
Wow. Okay.
So his main goal is really just to help people. I think as long as your intentions are pure, it should be easy to charge people. But make sure the intentions are pure, because I feel like people could see through it
and has value too,
yeah, because you don't want to end up being another guru.
No, definitely. I do not.
Yeah.
One of our guys that just started Amazon last year, he's a 7-figure, started last year.
Wow.
And we make fun of him because like he hates gurus, all these people that automates their Amazon and stuff like that. But since he scaled up so fast, we're like, hey, you're the next guru, huh? I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to be a guru. But you know, his method has been helping thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like he has a Discord group that's free, and there's at least 17,000 members in there.
Wow.
And they just started this year, I think.
Yeah.
They just started recently, and he's really giving knowledge on that one. So.
Well, let me ask you this, and I won't take too much of your time now.
It's all good.
2 last questions here. What is your definition of failure?
My definition of failure, I'd say not trying or not continuing what you love.
That's a good one.
You know, you think about it, like we all fail at something.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I mean, I could have decided to forget about doing e-commerce.
Yeah.
That itself right there.
Especially in your low point.
Yeah. I was already like, a low point in my life. But I think it's just not pursuing and not trying and not moving forward is it would be my definition of failure.
Yeah.
I know people say out there, failure is not a person. It's it's an event. It's true. But, it's in an event of failure, there is always a person in it.
Yeah.
And if they decide to stay in that position, in a sense, they are failure. I don't want to, I don't want to redefine that. Failure is not a person, but to have a failed event, there's a person in it.
Yeah.
And to stay failing is not getting back up and moving forward, not trying and stuff like that. So again, just try. Some of you guys might want to start a YouTube video, a podcast, resell. Just start.
Yeah.
Don't over research. Because
don't overthink before you start.
Yeah,
just
because
go for it.
What's gonna happen is that you analyze so much that you experience paralysis. Yeah.
Or you'll find the low points.
Yeah. And you lose that fire too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you get discouraged because other people's failure, but they're helping you to prevent that from happening to you. Yeah. All these guys that share their videos in YouTube, they failed so many times that have helped me avoid those failures or minimize my risk and maximize my reward.
For sure.
And that's what I want to do is to coach others, and not only that is to be able to be used by God. I've got to witness to some people I've Zoomed.
That's awesome.
One of them is Ishmael. He's in Canada. I'm also chatting with Hyped Hustle, Ray. Chatting with a couple guys. I'm trying to remember his name. His tag name is Acidic. We did video chat together. But God's been using those kind of avenue to kind of share the gospel to him. And I that's one of the things I passionate about is not just not primarily investing that which will go away, but I want to invest on that which is eternal,
for sure,
which is people, and God giveth the increase. That verse comes to mind: seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. I was never after those things. They just started to fall and enabled me to give more for the cause of Christ. And your motivation might be different, but definitely if you work hard, you'll attain your goal.
And I love that you talked about that because of the fact that I'm in the ministry too. And growing up, I feel like, and I think it's starting to change. Gladly, I'm happy that it's starting to change. But growing up, I feel like there was a stigma of the only way to be full-time in the ministry if you actually got a paycheck or something like that. There's a difference. It's like, you're vocational ministry. And we will never say it, but sometimes in our mind it's like, that means you're probably not really invested in it, the Lord. But honestly, for me, I believe people should I mean, I could be wrong with this. I don't have biblical evidence to back this up, but I'm leaning more to the point that if you work in the ministry, I think you should have a side hustle that actually
definitely.
involves you networking.
Definitely.
Because you actually get to know people outside the church.
Yeah.
Not only are you able to present the gospel, but also you're not so sheltered. You actually understand how people are outside.
Yeah.
You know, it's harder to preach. I mean, I guess it's easier to love and have a burden for souls when you actually could put a face on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You actually could know people. And I love that you talked about that people, you know, about and I think of like Matthew. Matthew has witnessed to basketball players.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Through cutting hair, his business. And there's now you being able to witness to people through mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we look back, we talk about the whole money thing. And of course, I'm still for you charging. You know what I mean? But as long as your intentions are pure. But I mean, think about it. The fact that you're getting to witness to people, I feel like that's payment enough.
No, definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The relationship you build with, you know, the people that you follow, the people that follows you. It's amazing. It's I don't know, it's just pretty amazing to meet somebody online.
Yeah.
You know, disclaimer, be very careful of who you talk to and stuff like that for young viewers. But definitely, like, there are people out there that's you know, beside just the business, they're hurting.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they're
and
hurting.
that's why they're looking at a business.
Yeah.
Sometimes because they need an avenue. They need, I guess, help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people don't really open up about the things of God, Bible, the gospel, if you don't take care of their physical need, because, you know, you're dealing with people that
I love that
you know, people are not seeking spiritual things in the sense, you know, like they're not open up right away. But if you meet their needs financially, materials, that's why I love the things that your dad is doing. You know, with the feeding program and stuff like that. I don't know if you're gonna ever interview him, but man, he tells stories about how he became a businessman and he became a preacher, pastor.
Put in the comments if you want me to interview my dad.
No, and I joke around with pastor, you know, like
I'm trying to test him to see if he'll actually watch my podcast.
Yeah.
That's why. Because I say comment down below, Dad.
He's in the Philippines right now doing mighty works over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Feeding program. And he said this, you know, it's hard to reach people that has an empty stomach, you know?
For sure.
I mean, Jesus Christ fed you know, the thousands.
And I think that's sad with a lot of churches. It's like, oh, well, you know, we may not give you physical food, but we give you spiritual food. It's like, man, give them that physical food too, man. You know what I mean?
There's like, people will listen more if they're
for sure.
Stuff, you know.
For sure.
They're fed. And I learned that, and I love what you did a couple of years ago with the feeding, with the Thanksgiving that we had, just going around and bringing food to homeless people. You know, at first they're like, "Oh, leave me alone." "Oh no, we got food for you." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
And then they open up.
And then here's something I want to share. They're eating, they're listening. You know, they're open.
They open up. They open up. Well, let me ask you this. We talked about the definition of failure. What is your definition of success?
Definition of success, you know, for a firefighter, a successful day is not getting burned. You know, a cop, successful day is not getting shot, going back to their family.
Yeah.
For a YouTuber, maybe having
getting canceled,
or getting a lot of views. You know, for an Amazon seller, probably selling multiple items a day. But personally, for me, what is the definition of success? That's a tough one. Because
you know this question was coming, bro. You know it, bro.
I should do my own, right? Success. I think for me is just being able to see someone's life change for the better. Let me explain that, because I know people that have gone through a brink of divorce. But reaching out to me, knowing that I graduated from Bible college, you know, back up a bit, you know, when I decided to go to Bible college, a lot of people were against that. Because one of the key factor in our culture, I don't know if it's our culture or everyone is about money, right?
Yeah.
It's like the common denominator. Sure. Like they ask, how much are you going to make going to the ministry?
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
But fast forward time, they're reaching out to you for help. And the success that I see in this event is that like the fact that I'm able to guide them, and help them, and one of my relatives just messaged me a couple years ago, just struggling with their marriage. I'm newly married, and he's this individual is asking me like, what should I do? I shared verses, and they're still together after
awesome.
5 years or so. They're
awesome.
still together. They're happily married. They're traveling places. They're out of town. They're just everywhere. If you follow them in social media, they're just everywhere taking pictures with their daughter and just happy.
Yeah.
And I find that's one of the definition of my success is just to be an instrument to see lives become better.
For sure. I bet there's a sense of fulfillment there.
Oh yeah, just to be able to help others.
Yeah.
Because if you help others, they help themselves to help others also.
For sure.
It's just a what's that called? A droplet of water. Just as an effect.
It's a ripple effect.
A ripple effect of helping others.
I think of like, Kobe Bryant helping out Kawhi Leonard, who in turn helped out Pascal Siakam to get a championship.
He's mentioned in every podcast. Subscribe. You're gonna do a lot of editing. You ready? I'm gonna start calling. I'm just kidding.
I have to mention my boy Pascal Siakam. But anyways, man, it's the end of the podcast. Do you have a plug that you want to give to the camera?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just check my Amazon seller real quickly. Oh my goodness. You know what?
During this podcast, how much have you made?
During this podcast, I have made 4 sales. I'll say that's about $60-$75.
And you didn't do anything.
You're
just here.
Yeah. I'll show. This is my. I don't know if you could. Should I zoom in?
Try it. It's in 4K.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm moving it, so it's it's real numbers. I'm doing it part time. This month I made a sale of $15,140. I don't know if you could see it. This is just me. Sales come in the morning, even before I wake up.
Sales of 15,000 right now.
Just this month, yeah.
Just this month. How much of that is profit?
I'm floating around 20-25%, 17%.
Nice.
After fee and stuff like that. So.
And you're only working how many hours a week?
5 to 10 hours.
So if you could invest more hours, you think that could grow?
Oh yeah, summertime is usually the biggest.
That's when it shoots up. Huh?
Yeah, because I'm able to, go out more if I want to. But then again, with the business model I'm doing, it's called online arbitrage. I'll talk to you more about that if you're interested in starting Amazon.
And I think I'll segue to this before we end. You talk about success. You talk about how when you went to Bible college, a lot of your relatives didn't really, I guess they're looking at the money.
They're looking at the money.
But when you seek ye first the kingdom of God, and talk about success, when you seek the kingdom of God and seek kind of like what your passion is and what you're called to do, and you pursue that, the money will come, man.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that now. You try to say that to them. If you actually show your numbers and how many hours you put in that, it's a different story now.
Yeah. And I don't have student loans or anything like that. I'm not.
No debt like that.
The only debt I have, I call it my father-in-law. He's also in business, but he calls it the revolving debt. It's a debt. You're leveraging your credit card, which it's very risky if you don't have the actual money. But be wise about that. Yeah. And stuff.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy with his business that he generates. He's into construction in Oregon, and they own a lot. My wife's gonna be watching this. She's probably gonna be saying shh. But yeah, we were talking. I'll
try to cancel that. I'll try to delete that part.
No, you don't have to.
Right.
But yeah, we were talking about business and stuff like that, and he's happy.
Yeah.
And I wish that was the same support that I have with my relatives. My parents were supportive.
Mm-hmm.
When I decided to go to Bible college.
Yeah.
But a lot of my relatives weren't so. They questioned what's the money, how much you're making, and stuff. For sure. Like that. But now they're asking me how much I'm, with this, because 2018, that's when I started selling, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to everyone about this Amazon thing.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And fast forward time, Christian is just like, you were talking about this and you were telling me about it, and I'm ready now. I'm like, well, it's never too late.
Yeah.
But imagine if you started with me, or
it's never too late, but for sure, man. Well, what you got a plug going on here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, my name is Tristan Luna. My handle name on Instagram is SourceShipSell, and my Twitter also is SourceShipSell. It's a yellow logo. No one has ever seen my face actually, and this is probably the first time. I know some people have seen me. I've coached them, but if you want to be coached and you want to get to know more about selling on Amazon, reach out to me. You could DM me, you could message me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll be glad to help you out and work things out with you. And again, Amazon, I'm doing it part-time. It is scalable, doable, and anyone could do it.
And by the way, I'll go ahead and add those down below.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. And if you are listening to this and you are encouraged, please comment. Comment really helps the YouTube algorithm. If you're encouraged with it, comment. If you know of someone that could be helped with it, please share it. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at James Abrot. Follow me on Twitter, James_Abrot1030. And please subscribe to my YouTube. I would really love that because I'd love to help people. Like I said, the main thing of this is just to help people. Yeah. And other than that, in the words of Jerry White, I'm out.